Okay, well, we got the first one in. It's good to get back to spring football, get the kids on the field. I was real pleased with the job the coaches did, getting it organized, and we had a real good practice as far as organization's concerned. You know, we don't have pads on yet, so we're still kind of just playing touch football right now, so we don't have a real good feel for, you know, the football side, the toughness side of it, which is key. But I liked the tempo and I liked the effort of the kids, and I thought all in all, first day, good start. With that, any questions?
Scott, you mentioned tempo, year two, but terminology and the guys know the staff a little bit better compared to last year. Is there an expectation to kind of hit the ground running from day one this year?
I think, yeah, Nate, to some degree, you know, there's carryover. You know, the installation that we put in today offensively was really the game plan from Minnesota, to be quite honest with you. So there was a lot of carryover for a lot of those kids, and I thought all in all, day one was pretty good.
Coach, what did you see from Terrell, positive or negative today?
I thought Terrell had good command in the huddle. I thought he had good command with the up-tempo. You know, we got off the field early, probably 12 minutes early, because, you know, what we want to do is create, you know, a high-tempo offense that's getting in and out of the huddle or the no huddle and moving the ball down the field quickly. And I thought Terrell had great command that way, and I think that had a lot to do with the fact that we got off the field fast because he had command and that offense was going up and down the field quick.
What are you most looking for Terrell to improve on in the spring?
Well, I think continue to improve on the things from the end of the season to the off season, making quick decisions, getting the ball out fast, taking advantage of you know, throws where he gets out of a play and throws it to the perimeter and creates one-on-one matchups. And he did that today with Brisley. Brisley had some nice catches in space, made some nice moves. And then I was real pleased, you know, on the other side of the ball, you know, Darius Kelly made a great interception coming from the backside, laid out, made a great fingertip catch. Wiggum did a nice job. It looks like he's fine. You know, he was running around playing with the same speed he was, you know, before he got hurt at Florida State. So it was good to see Julian out there running around. And a couple of the young kids, A.J. Long had a good practice. I was really pleased with some of the things he did. He's got a nice football sense about him. You know, he's still scrambling mentally to figure out what's going on. But for a first practice, a freshman coming in at the mid-year, I was really pleased with him. And Austin Wilson, he's got a cannon. I mean, boy, he's got great arm strength. So I think our quarterback position is good. You know, obviously, Kimball's a kid that, you know, he's got this nagging back injury right now, so he's going to be limited, you know, for the next week or so. Hopefully we can amp him up because he, you know, he's really worked hard in the offseason as well. And Troy Green went in there and did a nice job, too, with the limited number of snaps he had. So all in all, I was pleased with really the effort out of the quarterbacks to really create a sense of command out there.
You look at Rob Trudeau and moving him to the center position. Can you just go into what your expectations are from him and how important his job is? He may go as an unsung hero, but obviously important.
Yeah, Rob, you know, Rob's a really bright guy. Does really well in the classroom. He was an academic all-conference player this year, and you know, he needs to just you know, learn the new position. He played it last year in practice, but not in a game. But you know, I think he's got the right mindset. He's a bright guy that can make calls. Now he's just got to learn how to temper his spirit because he's a spirited player. That's what makes him, you know, a good player when he's playing guard. Now at center, he's got to have a little bit more sense of control. And I thought, all in all, first day he did a good job. Now we didn't have any pads on, so you really don't know until you get the pads on.
As far as Bobby and Joe bringing them onto the staff, getting them out there for their first day, what can you say about what you're taking away from them and how they're talking to the guys, kind of controlling their pace?
Yeah, both Joe and Bobby Acosta are good football coaches. The thing I liked is they had good meetings on Monday. Everything was sharp, and you could see the carryover on the practice field. Both really highly organized coaches that have a sense of intensity to them, but they also have a sense of calm at the same time, both those guys, and I was pleased with the way they went after it today.
Coach, you mentioned Brisley and how he was so effective today in practice. How important is it to have weapons like himself and Ashton, among others, in an up-tempo, fast-paced offense that you're trying to install?
It's huge. You know, you're trying to create plays in space with athletes. You know, Brisley did a good job today. I'm looking forward to seeing Corey Winfield do the same thing, playing at the slot position, which he got a lot of reps today, as well as Corey Cooper. You know, those two Coreys, they're young guys. They just got to get their nose in the notebook. You know, they had some mental errors today that slowed them down. You can't play at a fast tempo if you're thinking too much. You have to play reactionary football. And the two Coreys are two kids that have a lot of ability. They looked really good in the one-on-ones. They looked really good in the drill work. Then when you got to the team period, you could see they were thinking too much. So we want to try to take that thought out of the process and just get them to playing reactionary football.
Adrian Fleming got injured earlier last season, and he was expected to have a big role last year. How does he look so far in practice?
He looks good. We rotated those guys in a bunch today, and I think Flem's going to be a big part of this offense. Quinte Funderburg had a good day too. He made a couple catches down the field that I haven't seen. In his time here, we know there's ability there. It's a matter of him being consistent off the field, and he's done a good job with that. So I think between Fleming and Quinte, we have two big targets that'll be battling for reps, and I'll be interested to see when we get the pads on how they block. Because that's one area of emphasis that we want to do a good job is blocking at the wide receiver position. And those two guys have the long limbs and the type of bodies that can cover people up. And, I saw that today, but we weren't in pads, so it'll be a different deal when people put their face up in there.
Scott, we saw you guys in LSU talking about a potential home schedule. Are you trying to schedule more of those non-conference games, and how do you think that would help?
Yeah, Coach, Daryl Gross and Herm Fraser, they do a great job with the scheduling, and they'll throw things out at me. I think it's important to have a sense of balance when you look at your scheduling. We're going to play in one of the top conferences in the country week in, week out. So we're going to play big-name teams. Obviously, we had two big BCS teams in Clemson and Florida State last year. Watching what Clemson did